Hi everybody. Okay, so today I have decided I am going to do a educational ASMR. I'm not naked. I have this on, but it's just not. Anyways, it's not important. Today I decided to do a video on how gyms make money. And I know what you're thinking. I paid for that gym membership in January. That's how they make money. But I'm talking more about why do I keep paying for a gym membership in January? How do they keep taking my money? That's the question I want to be addressing. And I say January because statistically speaking, if you have a gym membership, you did sign up in January. 75% of gyms in the United States have their members first sign on in January. So that's where 75% of their new clientele come from. I'm not going to be talking about the psychology or behavioral economics of New Year's resolutions. I think I just don't want to. I just don't want to. It's advertising. It's, self-deception. Pretty much like gyms are. But I'm going to be talking a bit about the behavioral economic factors of gyms and some of the tactics that they use in order to get you to pay that annual membership and to keep you coming. Also, gyms don't want you to be there, first and foremost. That is a big part of it. So gyms, I'm going to be talking more about casual gyms and more of the affordable gyms, sort of like Planet Fitness or LA Fitness in the United States. Those are gyms that cost like $10 to $25 a month, let's say, if you do get an annual contract. And so how do those gyms are able to remain cheaper and what not? So that's what I want to be getting into. Now, I've fallen for gyms many times. I think over the past 5 years, not even counting the COVID year, I have definitely signed up to gyms I did not need to sign up to or should not have signed up to or whatever, because I never went. But there's something about them, and there's something that makes you keep going back and keep signing up, even if you didn't go to them before. Usually I sign up to new gyms when this happens, but sometimes I'll sign up to the same one twice, thinking that things are different this time. So let's get into it. There is a Planet Money NPR podcast called the Planet Money Workout. It's from 2014, so some of these statistics might not be 100% accurate to today, but I'm going to be using their example. So they went to a Planet Fitness gym in Manhattan, New York, and tried to analyze that gym. So 50% of its members apparently don't even show up, which is great for them because they have a capacity of around 300 people when they have over 6,000 members. So if everyone showed up, it'd be a pretty much disaster. Gyms rely on people not showing up. But how do you have a business that relies on people not showing up, but to pay an annual fee for it? That's where it gets interesting. So, first of all, let's talk about getting you inside that gym. There are certain ways that gyms get you lured in, you can say. So, 50 years ago, or so, gyms had a very different target market. Their target market really wanted to go towards bodybuilders, the buff type, the not casual gym goer that we see today. And that's, again, the type of gyms I'm talking about, the ones for casual exercise. Now, the way they did that is through their architecture and design. So people are actually qualified in designing gyms and deciding how to do it. How do we lure people in? So one way is that gyms, if you've noticed, look really quite friendly. So sort of like a hotel. Maybe the reception desk looks not so intimidating. There's a really nice lady there maybe talking to you or guy. And the atmosphere, there's usually some couches. I've noticed in the gyms I go to, I've been to outside you have the front desk, and then you have on the back some chairs. The one I have a membership to now, which I'm not going to because I'm not even in Israel, has a cafe inside, and So it looks like a very welcoming atmosphere, first of all. When you enter the gym, you're not intimidated like you would think to be when you go inside a gym. For a lot of people, this is a big problem for signing up for gyms. And also the way that they design the actual gym floor. Now, the gyms that I have been to and the gyms I've been memberships of, for example, so the people that cost the gym most money are those that go frequently and regularly, and are probably those that use the equipment that our casual selves don't use, such as heavy weightlifting, free weights, stuff like that. I'm not very good at gym lingo, but I'm assuming it's stuff like that. One gym that I went to, I used to go to in my university, the like free weight room and like where all the like intimidating machines are and the intimidating people. I'm sure they're lovely people. I actually really like those people because sometimes when I don't know what to do, I kind of stand around next to a thing and wait for one of them to tell me how to do it. So they're usually pretty helpful. But anyways, so they're usually at the back. When you enter the fitness zone, you enter the gym itself, like after the reception desk, I've noticed that these are at the back. So in the one I went to before, it was downstairs and it was in a separate room. Another gym that I went to, it was in the same floor, but it was like it had its own room, like you had to walk through the doors and actually see it. But what you would enter into is usually just some treadmills and some weights that look pretty easy, like I don't know, the ones that go like this, the stuff that kind of look easy to do and even fun. Some ways that gyms get you to experience this, first of all, is having maybe a free day to go. It's usually in January, friends referrals as well. And then once you get to the gym, this beautiful thing happens, which gyms absolutely love. And it's called projection bias. So, what's the projection bias? Well, how do you view your future self? We often inaccurately just predict our future emotions and our future selves in order to think that we would be doing better than we actually are. So we inaccurately depict how we will behave in the future. I wrote this down and I totally just couldn't remember it, so I'm going to read it. Future when trying to change our habits, such as working out more. And gyms strive on the projection bias. The definition of projection bias, and I will put the link down below, is the projection bias is a self-forecasting error, like effective forecasting. It's effective forecasting, so it's an effective forecasting error. So it's self-forecasting error, where we overestimate how much of our future selves will share the same beliefs, values, behaviors as our current selves, causing us to make short-sighted decisions. Now, this could be an example. Let's say you're super hungry and you're at a restaurant and you look at the appetizers and you're just so hungry, so you order more than you need. Like you order maybe like 2 appetizers to share with one other person and then your main course, or you end up over ordering because you think the hunger that you have will correlate with the food that you are ordering. You predict in the future that your emotion, I guess your hunger you're feeling, will correlate to the amount that you are ordering. When in reality, you've just ordered way too much food because you were just very hungry at the time. And that was an inaccurate forecast. My mom, who is really, really good at not making these type of errors, as an economist, I've mentioned before, she's very good at economic thinking. She makes this mistake all the time. So that is a not very damaging example of projected bias, but it is an example nonetheless. So gyms, you could be like, hey, after you work out one time, like, oh, I feel so good after working out, and I'm going to feel this good after working out every single time. I have to join this gym. Now, this is where something else comes in, and this is what is called the pre-commitment form. Now, the pre-commitment form mixed in with this projection bias is the perfect recipe for a gym to get you locked down. So, basically, when you join a gym, as you probably noticed, if you ever joined a gym or seen a gym website. The types of membership levels vary. For example, you could go once, you can have a weekly membership, you can have a daily pass, you could have, I've had 3-day memberships, so if you're just somewhere for a while, monthly memberships, half-year memberships, or a year membership. In all cases, I have yet to see one where this is not true. The annual membership is cheaper per month. In fact, I've seen them be 75% cheaper per month than going through the monthly route, and this is obviously to lock you in. However, the gyms are one of those contracts that we don't mind so much being locked into, and I will explain that. So, rationally speaking, people do not like signing contracts in general. We don't want to commit to a lot of things. For example, with your cell phone plan, I hate going on to cell phone plans, which is why I have a pay-as-you-go usually. Cell phone plans, we don't want to be locked into a service for that long because we may not know our future. You're kind of, putting yourself in that situation. But there's some things which we actually like being locked into because we think it'll create a behavior within ourselves to continue using a certain service. Gyms are a perfect example of that. So we want to be a part of gym contracts. We like the idea of committing for a year because we think once we have paid for that year, we think we are going to go. We think, because of our projection bias and because of the projection bias, that having an annual contract is actually beneficial to us when in fact it could be the opposite. And getting out of these gym contracts are very hard. You're pretty much locked in. One gym I went to made me pay for the whole year. That's because I had an American Express, but they didn't trust my American Express. I don't really know. So it made me pay for the whole year up front. But and I had a gym that give you discount if you paid for a whole year up front as well. So there's a lot of tactics like that. Since you already paid for it, you think you're gonna go. So this is a big part of it. So I just wanted to quickly talk about those two factors, how thinking that better of ourselves in the future and having that annual contract and the fact that we want to be locked down to that annual contract makes it possible for gyms to operate the way that they do. It also makes it possible for gyms to have a model where less people go, the better. Another thing that Planet Fitness does is have incentives such as pizza day parties, which I've never heard of in the UK or anything like that, but that's apparently a thing, and I've read it on a few websites as well that they do that, but yeah. So thinking we can change our behavior through the pre-commitment form and then thinking that we're going to do it because of the projection. I hope you enjoyed this quick behavioral economics lesson about gyms. And I know during the corona times we are probably not going to the gym, and obviously this data that I said before does not count for these times, but don't feel bad if you're not going, because I'm totally not. I also don't like the idea